Hello, everyone. Today it's very important that we talk about sleep. So, sleep is, as you know, something that we all do, mammals do. It's something that happens every night. Or does it? Are you having trouble sleeping? Do you have problems sleeping? Do you go to sleep and then wake up? Or do you have trouble falling to sleep? Do you have trouble falling to sleep and then wake up all night, often during the period? Or do you fall asleep late and then struggle to get up in the mornings? There's loads of different ways of having sleep problems. But what I'm here to tell you is that when you have an understanding of how sleep works, then you can take positive steps towards creating the right atmosphere and the right conditions for you to have a good sleep. I'm not going to be able to cover all of them today. I do cover them somewhat in my book, Rejuvenate Your Life, for women who want more. So have a look at that. But for now, we just want to make sure that we all understand what sleep is. It's when we rest, isn't it? It's when we find a time where we can shut off, and when our body heals and functions, our food digests, and our minds relax. So if we have problems, they go away. But unfortunately, when we wake up, we quite often still wake up thinking about those problems. So a good sleep is when we wake up and we feel inspired or just calm and relaxed, ready for the day. If we're not having a good sleep, then we still wake up in the same moment that we went sleeping. And of course, if we've had a dream or some disruption in the night, our mind starts to become active straight away. This is not what we want. So understanding what sleep is and how necessary it is can make us feel very guilty or very lacking in confidence when we approach sleep. When we have an expectation of sleep, we also have those issues where we feel that we are letting ourselves down, we're letting our family down because we're tired, we can't function properly, and our jobs are in jeopardy, perhaps. Our relationships are not so smooth. It's quite a serious part of our life. We sleep. It's an important part of our life. We sleep for at least a third of our life. We sleep it away. So why is sleep so important to us, other than giving us that rest? Why do we get so involved with our sleep? So the benefits of having good sleep are being able to have a clear mind, to have lots of energy, to make good decisions, to feel lighter, happier, refreshed, to be able to focus and to involve ourselves with life and to be creative with life. So this is the aim. This is where we're trying to get everybody to. Some of you may know the science behind sleep and some of you might not, but just to briefly cover that, when we sleep, our consciousness, our mind goes down through different levels. So when we're awake, we wake up in the morning sometimes like this, we're bright and sparky and we just get up to get breakfast, or we just get out of bed to get up. Or when we're up, we're running around the kitchen, multitasking, getting the children ready for school, getting ourselves ready for work. We're doing things. So when we're on that level of energy, we're often automatic and we're kind of like driven. There's an energy force. Our consciousness is here in the beta level. So the beta level makes us alive and we feel alive. So the next phase is when we're going to sleep, we start to come out of that level and we live most of the day on a thinking level. Up here in the alpha level, where we're thinking, we're communicating, we're task driven, we're active, but it's not as impulsive. And we can, contemplate. But as we come to sleep time, we start to feel our brain slipping. And you might be dozing off in front of the television and you go into what I call the twilight zone. The twilight zone for me is when we nod off and we have a little dream and then we wake up and we realize that we're not quite sure what was real. And it's a kind of like a lapse. The brain is going to sleep and you know that you're dropping off and you're nodding off, and other people do too. But what happens in that theta level, the top level, is where we can create, where we can plan, where we can visualize and create things in our minds. So sometimes when we're deeply relaxed like that, that's a good time to think about your holiday, or how you want to change the house, or how you intend to meet someone. You know, you can plan and contrive and you can invent. So a lot of people like Einstein and other inventors and great minds find that twilight zone at the top of the theta level is where they have their inspirations and they can see solutions. But we have to be relaxed. Do you remember last time I spoke to you, we were talking about stress, and we need to be relaxed. We need to have a lot of dopamine and serotonin to be able to think clearly and to be able to find solutions. So although we might be dozing off in the front of the television, that sequence of activity, that part of the brain is actually very creative and rewarding. Unfortunately, most of us lose it. We don't capture that. But when we're going to sleep, we go down further. We go down into the dream state. We go into realms where our mind projects images and symbols into our consciousness from our brain. Our brain is actually secreting chemicals all the way through this sequence. But at this level, we go into what we call dream state. And at this level, it's very important because that is when your brain is beginning to release chemicals into your brain that eat destructive proteins. So all the garbage that's built up in your brain during the day, the excretions, if you like, or secretions, and the debris that's lying around in your brain from all this activity and firing up that you've been doing, your brain is left with lots of debris. And at this time, when you're dreaming, this is when there are cells going around eating up and gobbling up all these excessive negative proteins, and they cleanse your brain. So what happens during that time, during that dream time, is so important to your health, because your brain health depends on how clean it is and whether that function can happen. So when we're dreaming, that's when we are being helped and healing ourselves, and we will have the capacity then to move on. So dreams are very important, even if you don't remember them. And then we slip down into levels of unconsciousness. So someone could operate on you, you go further and further down where you're completely dead to the world, you're unconscious. People can bang and clank around you, doorbells can ring, dogs can bark, anything can happen and no one can wake you because you're in that deep, deep state. But then importantly, we come back up from that delta level where we're completely out of it. In the delta, we come back up through the theta, and we come up through the dream state first, and then we go up through the other levels to waking. However, in the night time, we go up and down these levels, or in a period of sleep, I should say. We ideally should go up and down those levels 7 to 9 times. So that your brain has at least 7 to 9 times to clean itself of all these toxins. What often happens when we have disruptive sleep is we don't get into the dream state, or if we go into the dream state, we're not there long enough. And what we need to do is get right down to that deep, relaxed state. I always used to say to people, I don't mind having operations because I have such a deep, deep sleep. I always wake up from an operation feeling deeply refreshed. I might feel sluggish, but I feel slow to move, but I actually feel refreshed, and I like that feeling. Obviously, I don't like it if there's anything else going on, but I do like that. And that's what we're aiming for. So it's very important, not just that we dream and remember our dreams. We don't have to remember them, but it's very important that we dream. And so sleep is how we maintain our physical health of our brain and how we maintain our emotional and mental well-being. And our bodies relax, all our muscles relax, and we can relax and become healthy. Our digestive system works well. All of our body functions start to work in a way where we can be ready for the next day. It's about our survival. Sleep makes us vulnerable in terms of aggressors, but it also makes us very, very refreshed and ready to fight another day or to work another day. So sleep is very important. And how can we have good sleep? I will go into it more. And as I said before, there are parts in my book about sleep. But I'm sure you've taken an interest already in creating a good environment, having good air, not too hot, not too cold in the room, nice heavy blankets or weighted blankets if that's how you want to go. Tuck yourself in, get someone to tuck you in, swathe yourself like you would a baby. And the other thing you can do is actually not eat heavy meals before you go to sleep. Go to bed, have a nice routine, avoid alcohol and coffee and some excessive heavy foods. However, I would suggest that you try eating a small banana or having some cherries if they're in season. Or you can make an infusion from the cherries that you just have a little drink, because these have chemicals in them that will help you to relax their muscle relaxants, but also they induce the body to emit dopamine, which makes you feel very relaxed, and serotonin to make you feel happy. So there are foods that can help you to sleep, and a small banana and cherries are the things that I find most effective. And of course, there are medications, and you can go and see your doctor. So I do recommend that if you are deeply concerned and anxious about your sleep, that you do see your GP, take some medical advice as well. But also think about the nature's way of helping us to sleep, and rocking and meditation music, relaxing ambience of your room, trying to leave all technology away from your bedroom, keeping your bedroom or the area that you sleep in as functioning only for that sleep, so that your brain says, oh, I'm in my sleep room. I'm not in my bedroom. I'm not in my room where I've got books or I've got equipment or someone can call me. I'm in my sleep room. And see how that goes. Electric blankets are very, very minimal cost, not to be misused. You need to use them safely, but having an electric blanket under you can help as you struggle with sleep. So anyway, I hope some of this is helpful. I have got other things to share with you, but I think this is enough for today. And if you have any questions, just message me. I like to respond to your particular questions, because then I can answer them for everybody. And as you can see, we haven't gone live today, so I hope this will do for now. I am despondent, but I'm also very resilient. So despite any obstacles or challenges, there's always a way, and there's something that takes us forward. So if you are having challenges with sleep, there's always a way, and there will be an answer. And I hope that together we can find it. So I hope that's been useful. Self-care is important. And yes, I'll see you next week. Bye for now.